Hello, and welcome to our language school, The World, where learning authentic English is easy, fun, and free. So in our previous video, we learned how to compare two things. How short adjectives use ER, for example, big becomes bigger. How long adjectives use more, for example, beautiful becomes more beautiful. And we also spoke about irregular comparatives. Good becomes better, bad becomes worse. So if you missed that video, please go look it up on our channel on YouTube. So now that you know how to compare two things using comparatives, what if your dog isn't just cuter than other dogs, but it is the cutest in the entire world? Well, that's where superlatives come in. So keep watching this video and you'll learn how to say, "This is the most useful video on English grammar," or the easiest way to improve your grammar, watch videos every day, no homework required. Or the World Torino is the best YouTube channel to learn English. Now, jokes aside, today we're going to boost your English fluency by teaching you how to use superlative adjectives. We'll also cover common mistakes, irregular superlatives, and fun tricks to help you sound more natural in English. Now, before we start, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on our free English lessons. Your support means the world to us. Thank you. So now let's go. What are superlative adjectives? Superlative adjectives help us compare three or more things and describe something is the most in a group. For example, this classroom is the biggest in the school. He is the fastest runner on the team. Or that was the funniest joke I've ever heard. So superlatives help us highlight extremes, whether it's the best, the worst, the biggest, or the smallest. But how do we form them? Superlatives are easy to form once you know the rules. So let's go through them step by step. Rule number 1. Like for comparatives, for most short adjectives that means one syllable, we add est to make the superlative. For example, small becomes smallest. This is the smallest room in the office. Fast becomes fastest. Here is the fastest person on our team. Cold becomes coldest. Winter is the coldest season. However, you must remember to always put the article the before the superlative adjective. So it is not just coldest, it is the coldest. Now, there is a special spelling rule. If the adjective ends in one vowel plus one consonant, we double the final consonant before adding est. For example, big becomes biggest. That's the biggest pizza I've ever seen. Remember to always add the, so the biggest pizza. Hot becomes hottest. Today is the hottest day of the year. Special spelling rule number 2. For adjectives with two syllables that end in Y, we change the Y to I and then add est. For example, happy becomes the happiest. She is the happiest person I know. Early becomes the earliest. This is the earliest bus in the morning, and we spell that L-I-E-S-T. Funny becomes funniest. That was the funniest joke ever. So we change the Y and we add IEST. Rule number 2. For adjectives with two or more syllables, except for Y words, so words that end in Y, we use the most before the adjective instead of adding est. For example, beautiful becomes the most beautiful. This is the most beautiful beach in Italy. Expensive becomes the most expensive. That car is the most expensive one here. Important becomes the most important. English is one of the most important languages in the world. Let me give you a tip. Don't say the beautifulest or the expensivest. Those are incorrect. Very simple, the most plus the adjective. Rule number 3, the irregular superlatives. Now, some adjectives are a little naughty and do not follow any of the rules we just spoke about. You just have to memorize them. For example, good becomes the best. This is the best English lesson ever. Bad becomes the worst. That was the worst coffee I've ever had. Far becomes the farthest or the furthest. That's the farthest I've ever traveled. A fun fact for you, in British English, we usually use the furthest instead of farthest when talking about ideas or concepts. For example, this is the furthest I've gone in our research. So let's do a quick test now and see if you remember the rules we have just looked at. So you fill in the superlative form of the adjective I tell you in the sentence. Get down a pen and paper, pause the video if you need, so you can write down the sentences and then write down the correct superlative adjective. So number 1, this is the easy question on the test. Number 2, that restaurant serves the delicious pasta in town. Number 3, today is the cold day of the week. Number 4, he is the good player on the team. And number 5, this book is the interesting I've ever read. Write your answers in the comments and let's practice together. Superlative adjectives are super useful, but they can also be a little bit tricky. Here are some common mistakes English learners make and how to fix them. So number 1, double marking, so adding most when you don't need it. Incorrect. She is the most tallest student in the class. The correct is she is the tallest student in the class. So the rule with short adjectives, 1 syllable or some 2 words ending in Y, you just add est and there is no need for most. Number 2, comparing only 2 things. It is incorrect to say this is the best of the 2 options. You would say this is the better of the 2 options. So we use better for comparatives when you are comparing 2 things. You use best as a superlative only for 3 or more things. Forgetting the. Incorrect. She is tallest student in the class. The correct answer is she is the tallest student in the class. So superlatives always need the before the adjective. Number 4, using the wrong form with long adjectives. It is incorrect to say that was the interestingest movie I've ever seen. The correct form, of course, is that was the most interesting movie I've ever seen. So the rule is with longer adjectives, 2 or more syllables, use most instead of est. And here is a final tip for you. Superlatives help describe the best, the worst, the biggest, the smallest things in the world. So just remember these little rules and your English will sound more natural in no time. So superlatives are great for describing things, but what about talking about your daily life, your habits, your job? In our next video, we'll cover one of the most important tenses in English, the present simple. So when do you say I work and when do you say I'm working? What is the difference between she goes and she is going? What is the biggest mistakes learners make when using the present simple? So keep watching, keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we grow as learners. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.